Hello and welcome to a fast long distance training to prepare for the Finnish long distance championships. But first some information about the future of my channel. The same thing is in Finnish on the screen, but for everyone in the future I will do some of the videos only in English. For example this one, because it takes so much time to do long videos like this twice, and it's not always even possible to find that much time at the moment, so the options are to do the videos only in Finnish or only in English, and there are so many people in YouTube doing orienteering videos in Finnish that I think it's enough for everyone, even though I do some videos only in English. But of course I will do some videos like sprints are easy to do in 2 languages, and also I want to do important Finnish competitions like Finnish champs or relay leagues in both English and Finnish. But yeah, there are not many channels on YouTube who are doing these videos regularly in English. If you know any, please leave them in the comments. I want to check them out, but yeah, I think it's better for everyone if I keep doing this in English at least. And also for me personally, it's good to do this to keep learning some English, and I think that's good for life in general, so that's another reason. But I don't want to only give bad news for the Finnish viewers. There are quite a lot of you who are watching this in Finnish, so I tried to add my running pace to these videos from now on. I found some quite okay tool for that. You can see it in the top or in the bottom right corner of your screen. I have tried to do it also earlier, but all of those tools that I have found have been either really bad or really expensive, but this one seems quite promising. And also I got some feedback in a recent video that it would be interesting to see what the situation in a race is, so in the future I will also try to tell you or show you on the screen some split times in competition videos. So even though some videos are now only in English, I will try to improve the videos in every other way all the time. But maybe now we will get to the orienteering part. The first control was very simple. The path going there was quite tricky to run with my shoes, but it was okay. This second control was very short one, quite detailed one, but the main thing was to see the cliffs on the left side, and there are quite many of those cliffs, so I got a bit confused, so I looked around, but then I saw the vegetation boundary here, so after that I was sure where I need to go. The one thing that was quite special about this training was that the map was scaled 1 to 15,000, so that's another reason why I wanted to do this long distance training before the Finnish champs. I don't even remember when I have used a map with the scale of 1 to 15,000 the last time, so it was nice to get some feeling to it. I'm not yet too old because I could see it quite well, so that was nice. But this third leg was quite nice, route choice leg, and the forest here in the beginning of the leg was really nice. But yeah, I didn't have much time to read this leg because, as I said, running on the path to the first control was quite hard, so I couldn't read the map much there, so I somehow missed the straight path that is going up to the hill from the end of the bigger path on the right. So that would have been the best route choice clearly, maybe like 1 minute faster than my route. And also my execution here was not the perfect. I saw the pole or whatever that is in front of me, and I thought I will find the path going there quite easily if I just go towards that, but then I missed the path anyway, so that was not optimal. It would have been so much faster to run on the path compared to this open area, but not very big mistake. The biggest mistake was to miss the optimal route choice. This training is from a individual training package or something like that by Suunta Jyväskylä, so there are controls on the flags for the whole summer, and you can order the maps from Suunta Jyväskylä's webpage and get them from the open orienteering events, or I don't know if it's also possible to print them or get them somehow if you are not going to the open orienteering events, but at least this training was really nice one. So yeah, because it was a public training, there have been quite many people doing this training also before me, so there were some small tracks in some places close to the controls, but the most important thing was that quite many people have been doing this training in high speed, so I could compare some route choices, and at least for this leg it was clear that my route was not so good. Usually going quite straight is good in Finland, but I think this terrain is a bit of an exception because it's so stony on the ground, and also the hills are quite big. And this path was not very fast. It was turning left and right all the time and also quite stony, so I think the paths on the right route choice would have been faster. But I thought I would need to go around the hill from the right and use the re-entrance with the green marshes to get to the control, because I didn't see the path. So I was bit too quick with my decision. I think on a long distance course it would be sometimes good to even stand on the control and think about the route choice for a while, but I didn't do it here. Here I was just aiming for the vegetation boundary on the right. It was easy to see from far away, so I didn't need to read anything else here, just trying to see where it's good to run. It was not very good anywhere, it was so stony. I feel like the terrain in Lakeuden Viesti was so nice to run compared to this terrain. This is quite popular training terrain in Jyväskylä, but I haven't been here so many times after my childhood. Some trainings, but not even every year, so I didn't remember that much about this terrain. But it was a nice surprise to get some small path here that was not on the map. It was so small that it's logical that it was not on the map, but it made my running a bit faster here, I think. Of course not as fast as it would have been on the better route choice. I don't know how accurate the pace is, but at least now it's showing quite good numbers, so maybe the biggest time loss on this leg was in the beginning of the leg when it was quite steep uphill, and also because I missed the path. But getting through this open area was surprisingly good. Then some path running or trail running, and the control should be quite simple because it's a cliff that is facing towards me, and the big flags should be quite visible, so I didn't need to stress about the control picking so much. But the runnability here was not very nice, so I didn't have the chance to read the longer legs later on the course. I just needed to concentrate on getting down from here safely. I made a fast middle distance training also recently, but something happened with the video file, so I'm trying to repair the file. At the same time, I found some nice looking tool that should be able to repair corrupted video files, so let's see if I can make a video of that training as well. It was quite nice one. It was in a new terrain for me, close to Jyväskylä, so that's always quite rare. At least the tool that I found some issues in that file, and it said that maybe it should be repaired with some other tool, but let's see. So if you will see a video from Tikkala, then you know that the tool was good, but if you don't see a video from Tikkala by me, then you know that the tool was not working. But here I thought the control should be right in front of me on that cliff, but I didn't see any control flag there, and I also didn't see any stones on the left or on the right, so I was very confused because I thought my direction should have been good, but then I finally saw the flag. It was not very visible. I was staring straight at the flag, but I still didn't see it. And it was not the only time in this training where it was not very easy to see the flag, because those colors were not very bright on these flags sometimes. And this leg was quite annoying. I can already tell you that I lost 1 minute on this leg, even though I didn't make any mistake. I had no idea that this straight route would be so slow. It would have been a minute faster to go around the yellow area from the left, but I can't do it anymore. I made this choice and now I have to live with the choice. And it was so hard to recognize these vegetations here, so I accidentally hit this double green stripe area, and I still haven't checked what the green stripe area is called in English, but yeah, so it's still green stripe area for me. But I still don't know how it was possible to lose 1 minute on this leg. Or maybe not 1 minute, because the tail is a minute, and yeah, it doesn't make any sense. But I think the flag was missing from here, so that also took some time to do when I was looking for it. But then I realized that it has to be the right stone. Like, there is not another big stone close, so it has to be this one, so no need to keep looking for the flag. Then a bit longer leg, but there are no real route choices on this leg. The most important thing was to just find a nice way to run. I tried to go as straight as possible here, but at this point I thought that it looks so much better to go down here than to run on the slope, so I went down, and soon I will need to climb up to the slope again, but I should have done it anyways because of the re-entrant on the left. So no extra climbing there. I think it was actually quite good to go down there. And here I tried to read the vegetation boundaries and the green areas and things like that, but it was quite hard, and I don't even think I saw this stone, because I was hoping to see those stones, and yeah, I understood nothing here. I think I thought that this stone would be the one on the left under the control line, and I would be quite close to the vegetation boundary, but it was not the case. So because I didn't know exactly where I was, I just kept going forward, trying to stay on the same level and check my compass sometimes, and the plan was to locate myself back on the map when I come to the path. Here is some white forest on the map, but it wasn't so much better than the areas around, but soon I will get to the path, and let's see if I can locate myself. I came perfectly to the vegetation boundary, but I didn't realize it yet because there was so many short trees around me, so I didn't see that up. But now I saw the longer trees on the right, and I knew where I was, and also I saw these two boulders, so now everything was under control again. And I think it would have been best to just go around the vegetation boundary here to the control, but I tried to go more straight, and yeah, this area here was not very fast, even though it was white forest on the map, but it was much better on the other side of the vegetation boundary, and I lost some time compared to the faster guys on this short part close to the control. I planned to see the stone on the left and the re-entrant in front of me, and just continue straight from there until I get to some depression. This re-entrant was very clear. Then I saw some depression type of thing there on my right, but it was not the control. Then I also saw the big stone behind the control and knew where I need to go. Then another long distance type leg, quite long one, with some route choices as well. Or this is not only quite long one, it's really long one, I think. But I didn't see any reason to go around anything. I thought it's safest to just go as straight as possible. Of course, use some paths and avoid some greens where it's good to do so, but another option would have been to go go to the right to the same place where I messed up a bit when I was coming from the second control. I think it would have made sense because running down from the hill there was quite slow in the stony and steep hill. So I would have saved quite much time by running down the hill using the big path. But in the beginning I used the vegetation boundary to get the direction right, and then here I just tried to see to the other side of the more open area and to see the vegetation boundary there, and it was easy to see the trees were so much taller there. Maybe hard to see now when I'm just looking at my feet and trying to survive this stony ground. But yeah, it was quite easy orienteering here for quite a long time on this leg. I'm not sure about the route choice because the fastest one was also on the same route choice, but that guy was also much faster in running in this training, so it's sometimes hard to compare. But yeah, this bedrock area was quite nice. Unfortunately, it was quite small area, but as you can see from my running pace, it was good. I tried to hit this small path here, and I could hit it quite easily because I could see the dark green area on the left. And at this point I think I got my first gel. I got 3 gels during this training because I need to practice it before the Finnish champs. Not because of my stomach, I think it handles them quite well, but because I have noticed that when I take gels in orienteering, my orienteering suffers from it quite a lot. It takes so much away from my concentration, so I tried to stay on the map even when I took my gels. Of course, I tried to take them in good places to do so, like on paths or other places where it's easy to stay on the map. There I needed to stop because it was quite hard to get the plastic rubbish back to my GPS vest. I didn't have a GPS tracker in this training, but I used the vest to test the gel pockets that are in the vest, so I think that was quite a good solution. There are 3 pockets in the front side of my GPS vest, and it worked very well, so I will take the same approach to the Finnish champs long distance. But for the ultra long I need to think about something else, because 3 gels are not enough for that, so maybe I need to put some in my pocket as well. Here I just looked for the vegetation boundary. Here I could see it from far away, so that was the only thing I needed to look at, and it felt so good to run here under the stony area that I stayed here instead of going up to the path. But when you look at my running pace, I think it would have been wise to get up to the path a bit earlier. Saved some distance, but maybe it would have been faster to go to the path earlier, but those are quite small margins in a long distance course. And here is another place where I saved some distance because the forest looked very nice. I got out of the path quite early. Then the plan was to just follow these boulders to get down to the big marsh. I should have stayed on the left side of these boulders because the pace was not very high here, but it's sometimes hard to concentrate on these micro route choices in a long distance for me. I have talked about this also earlier, but my biggest problem on long distance courses is that I forget about orienteering quite many times, and I just run somewhere and check the map every 1 minute or something like that, and it's not optimal. I should concentrate more carefully all the time, and I would save so much time. For example, here I should have stayed more on the left, and oh yeah, now I remember what happened here. I thought that I'm heading towards the green area on the left, so I corrected to the right, but it was actually white forest that I was running towards. It just looked quite dense in that point where I was going there, so now I thought I would be exactly on the line. It was quite a big surprise to me after the training to see that my GPS track was not even close to the line here, because I was very sure that I would be on the straight route. And the pace is like 11 minutes per kilometer here in a downhill, so that tells something about how stony this ground is. I wanted to take this downhill safe to not hurt myself. So the plan for the training was to do a hard long distance training. So I was basically running as fast as I could all the time, but it was not very fast sometimes, and I also didn't feel very tired after the training. I don't know why I couldn't run faster, but maybe it was some mental block or something like that. But I'm sure that in the Finnish champs I will be able to push much harder all the time, because it's an important competition and not just an important training. These green areas on the marsh were quite obvious, so now I knew that where I am, I'm again a bit closer to the line, so I didn't even know at this point that I was so far from the line earlier. And this last green bush here was quite nice attack point to the control. The plan was to follow the very, very wide and not very obvious re-entrant towards the control, because I didn't know any other way to find the control than to just keep the direction good and try to sense this re-entrant. I don't know if I can even call this one a re-entrant. It's so small, but somehow it was possible to feel it here, so it was quite easy to go to the right direction in the end. I just tried to see the knoll because I thought it would be or should be quite obvious, and there it is. It's a very big one because there is a knoll and also a form line, so that's a feature with basically a double feature on the map, so it should be easily seen, and Yeah. That was a bit scary control, but turned out good. But the next control is even harder, and I can spoil you that I made a small mistake there. But it was not a big one, and I saw from live logs that some people did also bigger mistakes to that control, so I'm not very mad about that one. It was easy to find the big path here based on the knolls and the stone before, and from here I remembered this place from some open orienteering event from last year. I had run from this same place there, and I remember that it was very good to run down here on the flatter area. And there was also some kind of a track here. Maybe it was from the event last year, or I don't know. But it was a good choice. It was fast to run here, and I don't think it would have been as fast in the slope. The pace is like 550 per kilometer, and that's good. Not anymore, but it was fast for a while. I think that pace thing shows some average pace from quite long period of time, so that's why it's a bit weird sometimes, but it's the best thing that I could find, because last time I tried to do the same thing, I found some tool that worked well otherwise, but it changed the pace like every second by 30 seconds per kilometer, so didn't make any sense. This is better this way. I don't know if any of you got the idea that I was explaining, but the main thing is that I'm pretty happy with this pace thing, and I will probably keep using it. But yeah, here I was planning to just keep on the same level until I see those two cliffs under my control cliff. But then here I thought that I saw them already, and I climbed up. And my control should be up there in front of me. Then I saw some stones. Didn't see any cliff. I felt like I should be now on the yellow area. And then I figured out that I will just continue going straight and see what happens. But when I saw the stone on the left here, I realized exactly where I was, so that was nice. So that was a small mistake, maybe half minute based on the GPS tail. The 8th leg is the last shorter leg before a really long leg to the control number 9, and it had quite many route choice options, so this is the last place where I can think about the route choice. I don't remember when I did my first plan for the 9th leg, but it was a long time ago before this one, so I had some kind of an idea how to do it, but I still wanted to prepare for the 9th leg a bit during this leg as well. First I just wanted to get out of the green area quickly, and this flatter area on the top of the hill was quite nice to run. As you can see, not very fast. The pace is like 7 minutes per kilometer. and it's quite slow in a white forest in a hard training. But it was much better than in the green. I didn't have any master plan for this leg. I just wanted to go straight and read some things that I could read. That's my problem in the long distance courses, as I already told you. But it was quite good in the beginning. I could see the group of boulders and also this highest point here and the boulders on the left. So now I knew that I'm exactly where I need to be and I can just continue. But there is some really big re-entrant on the way to the control, so I thought if I should go a bit from the right side, especially because there is that green area on the left side of the line. So yeah, the plan was to maybe hopefully go more to the right side. And here when I saw these boulders, I realized that I need to turn a bit if I want to do that, because I'm now too much to the left. But I don't know. I didn't have very good control here about my location. Then I saw those boulders on the left, and then I realized again that I should correct to the right. My last correction didn't last for long before I turned back left. But yeah, now I'm on the map again for the fourth time on this leg. But then I went maybe too much to the right. So not the most optimal work here. Of course it's like hard to do optimal orienteering before a longer leg. But to be honest, I didn't have any time to plan for the long leg here, so it wasn't an excuse. So when I came here, I saw the cliff and the boulder and realized that I'm way too much to the right, and yeah, I need to do quite sharp turn to the left. And I still wasn't 100% sure how I want to do the next leg. And finding the control here was quite hard. Luckily I saw the flag. But yeah, I needed to stand here for a while and see what should I do. You are not seeing the whole leg yet, but you will soon see it. And there is that small lake in the middle, and in the beginning I was already almost going from the right side of it. But then I realized that the open area with the green stripes might be so bad that it takes almost the whole day to get through it. Because my first plan was this one that I started to go for. But then when I was standing at the control, I thought it would be good to go from the right side to avoid some climbing, to go from the right side of the lake and then use the green marsh re-entrant and go around the big hill from the right. But yeah, then I realized that it's probably faster to go on the top of the hill, and the first open area might be very slow, so I went back to my first plan, which is to go to the left side of the lake and then go to the start point and use the road for a while and then use the path to get to the control. The beginning here was not very fast, at least for me. I had hard time here running down the hill. I think some people who had done this same training were much faster on this downhill, but for me it was hard. I get so much faster in this kind of places in real competitions. I'm just too afraid of this in trainings. But there is one route choice that you can't even see from the map. It's possible to go around the whole hill, going to the big path next to the marsh and then come back from the road between the start and the finish. And that was like 500 meters longer than my route choice, but it was as fast as my route choice. So that was a bit surprising, because usually it's good to go straight in Finland. But this beginning of the leg was very short. No matter where you go, every route choice was slow here in the beginning. And this is a really nice place. I think this place is even a good choice for the thumbnail of the video. I think it's possible to get some fish from this lake. And yeah, it looks like you are in Lapland or something like that. The only problem is that those wooden planks are not in their prime, so it was even better to run in the soft marsh. But the pace is still quite okay, bit over 5 minutes per kilometer. There are quite many variants of my route choice also, because one option would have been to continue on this path and go to the end of the big path and then use the small path going through the open area to get up to the hill. And I think that could have been better than my route choice, because climbing up this hill from here was not very fast. Of course, you can see it also from the map. It's green and stony, but because I thought that it's best to go to the path going towards the start point, it should be faster to go straight here. But yeah, it would have been better to use the path to get to the top of the hill, and maybe then do the rest of the leg also more straight. So many nice route choices. Thanks for the course setter Lauri Pohjola, who is also doing orienteering videos, and he's doing them in English. So if you are angry for me for not doing this in Finnish, you can go to Lauri's channel and watch a lot of Finnish orienteering videos. I don't know why I'm always giving some shoutouts to my competitors, but I think it's just best for everyone that there are a lot of people doing these videos. So I would be really happy if there would be more of these videos with English commentary. You can watch my tutorial of how to edit these videos, and then you are ready to start your YouTube career. Yeah, the climbing was slow. As you can see from the pace, it was now 11 minutes per kilometer, and yeah, I think I should have went to the white side of the forest earlier, but I somehow thought that it would be better to run on this open area. But the white forest on the left side is quite good. as you could see when I was going to the 6th control. And now you can see it again, it was quite nice here, so I maybe stayed on the open area for too long. And soon it's time for another energy gel. I will take it on the path going to the start point, but now I just need to find the path, because when I was running to the 3rd control I didn't see that path at all. But maybe it's easier to see from this side because of the shape of the intersection. But I knew that I need to be careful to find the right path. Here I just wanted to go quite straight to the intersection, but hit the first path safely on the right side. The forest looks very good here, but as you can see from the base, it was quite stony on the ground, so not the fastest type of forest. The course was 10 kilometers long and it took me over hour and 20 minutes, so my orienteering pace was over 8 minutes per kilometer, which is relatively slow in Finnish terrain. Yeah, here I started to take my gel. I just took some basic 20 grams gels, but I think I will use 40 grams gels in the Finnish jumps, 3 of those, or maybe 1 before the start and 2 during the race. I still need to think about that and figure out where to get them. Maybe from some cycling store. It was quite nice to run fast here for a while on this path and also on the road and rest of the course was actually quite nice terrain. The other side of the big road was maybe a bit faster, and also there is some really nice bare rock area there, and that's also one option for the thumbnail of the video. Let's see which one I pick, or maybe I will do some A/B testing. I managed to take my gel and this is nice area. You can just look at this beautiful bare rock area. Of course it's not so nice because there is some wood storage area also in front of me, but you can forget that and just look at the bare rocks. The plan was to just follow this impassable cliff on the right and go down where it's possible. And it looked like it should be good to go down around here, and yeah, it was the case. Some road running for a change. Let's see how my pace reacts to that. I hope it will start with the number 3 at least. Now I can run until that electricity pole on the left side of the road, close to the right edge of the map image. And from there I will try to get to the path that is taking me to the control. The pace is like 3:15 per kilometer here, and maybe that's the reason why it could have been a good route choice to go around the whole hill using the road, because my pace when I was climbing up to the hill was 11 minutes per kilometer, so I can basically cover over 3 times the same distance. 3 times the distance on the road, so yeah, it makes sense that going around was a good route choice. I just didn't even think about that option. Here I was thinking that what is the thing that I could base my exit from the road on, and then I figured out the electricity pole. I saw it first in real life and then I could transfer it to the map. It's so hard to see those electricity poles on a 1 to 15,000 map, so when I saw it first in the real life, then I could find it on the map as well, but I didn't see it first on the map. And this was really nice area. I fell down to a ditch there, so maybe that's how the map maker also figured out there is a ditch here. Hopefully the map maker is okay if he fell down there. But it was luckily not a long distance to go through that dense area. And as you can see, the forest is quite nice on this side. I could actually run here, which is nice. I didn't realize there is a vegetation boundary on the right that I could follow, so I just tried to basically get a feeling of the level, and now I thought that I had climbed up enough, so now if I just follow the same level, I will hit the path, and then I will figure out there if I'm on the path on the lower side of the upper side of the intersection. I should be on the lower side because this area below the thicker contour line is a bit flatter, and this area looks flat in the camera as well, so I should be in the right place. There is the path perfectly to the intersection, so that felt good, even though it was partly luck. But finding this control turned out to be a bit more difficult than expected. Maybe those turns of the path were not as obvious that I was hoping for, and I also hope to see the cliff under the control, and I couldn't see it. So you will see. But it was quite obvious here that I'm now in the middle of the green areas, and I just need to wait for the path to turn right, and then I can start to be more careful about the control. And this is the end of the green areas. The path is now turning right. That was like it should be. And now I was just waiting to see the cliff on the left side of the path. But I still couldn't see it. I even checked there and didn't see anything. I was still waiting for it, but then because this path started to turn downhill, I thought that I have already missed the control, so I just need to go back and find the control. So small mistake there, a bit annoying one, because I think it could have been even good to continue straight from the first turn of the path. And this is again some root choice leg. Another one in a row. Bit shorter this time, but the big re-entrant with the stony areas in the middle looked quite horrible, so I don't think there is any other good option than to go around it from the left. It would have been actually quite interesting to see how the place looks like, if it's even possible to run there. But maybe it's a better area for some middle distance type of training. The nice thing about long distances is that you can sometimes avoid areas like that by just running around a path. I just took a good compass direction from the control and saw the stone on my way, so I hit the intersection of the paths quite well. So this was a nice success, and now I can just follow the paths almost until the control. If you don't want to watch trail running and you want to skip straight to the bedrock area, you can do that. I don't get offended. But I will try to figure out something nice to talk about here. Maybe I will talk about my plans for the autumn, so you know what kind of videos to expect. So this weekend I'm running some basic middle distance competition near Tampere, organized by Valkeakosken Haka. Then it will be the Finnish Champs long distance weekend with the qualification and the final in north in Posio. So that will be interesting, a bit different terrain. And after that it's already Finnish Champs middle distance and the relay, and then there are some more competitions like 25 manna and maybe Finnish night champs, maybe Finnish champs ultra long, and yeah, that's basically the competition season. But after that there will be some real treats on my YouTube channel, because they just released some news that the Jyväskylä Night Challenge sprint orienteering series is continuing this year. It was a bit uncertain because the previous year's organizers both moved out of Jyväskylä, but now there are new organizers, and I have really high hopes of the new organizers, so I'm really looking forward to run the Jyväskylä Night Challenge every Monday, and also there will be a new season of the night orienteering series called Kurko Cup, and that one will be every Thursday, so there will be 2 new night orienteering videos on a normal week, one sprint and one forest. And maybe I can already promise that I will do a Finnish commentary also for the sprint ones at least. So there will be videos until the middle of winter almost. And I have been filming quite a lot of orienteering trainings lately, and I haven't published every one of them, so maybe I will publish them in the winter. So yeah, let's see what happens. But the one thing that is sure is that for a long time there will be new events that I will go to and film some videos for you. It was quite nice to get some trail running here, because my physical training had been quite easy until this point because of the bad runnability of the forest. I haven't been able to push very hard, so on trails it's a bit easier. Of course on a trail like this, it's not so easy for me either, but I could get some feeling to my legs here. And my split time for this leg was quite good compared to the other legs. What a surprise, because it was only trail running. So not a surprise. Then we are approaching a place where I need to be a bit careful to find the right path. There was actually an option to use the path on the right for longer and go towards the control after the last hill, but I thought this option saves some climbing, but I'm not even sure if it does, because now I need to climb up to the next hill instead of the previous hill. But yeah, I managed to find the right path by looking at the edge of the marsh and the green area, and now I can relax my brain for a while again. And here it was quite hard to run fast, because there was so many trees very close to the path and it was making some turns, so the pace was not very high, so maybe the other path would have been a better option for this leg. Or now I'm actually quite sure that it would have been, or I don't know. I don't know how the last part of the leg would have been from that path. But anyways, this is a safe route choice. And we are getting very close to the nice bare rock slope. It was quite a big surprise to me, because I don't think I have ever been to that area of the map. At least I didn't have anything on my heat map on this side of the road, but I think I have been here as a kid, but not sure exactly where. The plan for picking the control was to run until the intersection of the paths and then follow those boulders towards the control. First there is 3 boulders and then 1 single boulder, and there is also 1 big boulder next to the control on the right, so I thought that I will find the control based on them. That area was actually quite hard to figure out from the long distance map, but I managed to do it. So if I can see this kind of area on a map with 1 to 15,000 scale, I think I can handle any type of map. But yeah, there is the next stone in front of me, and then I can already see the big one on the right, and the control should be very close to it. It was just quite hard to run here because it was so steep and stony. There is the control. To the next one, I thought that maybe it's better to go up to the path, because I don't know how good the slope is to run. But I think it would have been quite good to go straight, because this ground here was surprisingly good. I saw the big boulder in front of me, so I knew that the path is on the right side of it. So now I just need to turn right a bit to get to the path. There is that, and then I will run until I have passed those 2 boulders on the left. And I have now passed the 2 boulders, and then the next plan is to hopefully see the boulder clusters and the big boulder. But I didn't stress much about this because I thought that if I just go down enough, I will probably see the bare rock area changing into the white forest on the right. But it was not that clear, so it was good that I could see some of the big boulders. And yeah, I thought the control should be around here. It looks like a cliff. Didn't see any flag. I was a bit confused. And then I saw the flag here. I was basically almost standing on the flag, but couldn't see it. Of course I can't see it when I'm standing above the cliff if the flag is under the cliff. Then a shorter leg, quite physical leg because it's quite steep uphill here, so that was nice to get some more feelings in my legs, because that was the main point of the training, besides the fact that the map was scaled 1 to 15,000, so those 2 things were the main goals of this training: get some physical training for the long distance and to get used to the long distance map. It was quite a simple leg. I would just take a direction from this path and then see the boulder, and the control should be in a cliff just behind the boulder, so not too difficult. Now I just need to find the control. That's always the hardest part. I think I punched the control there. You couldn't just see it on the camera, but yeah, there it was. And then very weird leg, or the leg was a normal leg, but I did some very weird things on this leg. You will see later, but when I started to approach the control from the paths there, it was, yeah, I think I got a bit tired in my head, so my orienteering was not on point. But first I could just run on this path, and that was nice. Very nice actually. I planned to run on this path until there is that marsh on the right, and if I get out of this path from there, I can avoid both of those big hills in the middle of the leg. I can go between them, and then if I don't run for very long time on the next path, I can also avoid going down to the big re-entrant. But yeah, this beginning was quite relaxed. Last bit of recovery before two more controls. I didn't think about much here. I thought that I will see when the path starts to go up, and I will just turn right there. Then I also saw the intersection, and now I'm getting ready to turn right, where it looks good. it doesn't look very good anywhere, so I just need to go before it's too late. I think I should have went to the forest even a bit earlier, because it was better down here next to the marsh. And then I just continued with my compass, and I could also kind of see the hill on the right, but it was not very exact, so I just believed my direction, and I was waiting for the next path. Here is the path. And yeah, now we will get closer to the weird part of the lake. I still don't know what happened and what went through my head here, but here I was on the map. It was where the other path joined to this path, and then I wanted to get out of the path to avoid some extra climbing. This was quite a stupid route choice, actually, because I should have just continued much longer on the path to avoid this quite dense area here. But yeah, I think I skipped something in my head, or maybe I didn't think about anything, because I thought this dense looking area on my right would already be the green area after the next path. So maybe I just skipped one path in my head, and I was trying to follow the edge of the green area here, and I was basically running next to the path on the left for quite a long time. And then I saw this other path here and got a bit confused. Still didn't know what's happening, but yeah, I basically didn't know where I am at all, so I just needed to continue. I think at this point I realized that yeah, this has to be the flatter part of the hill, the white part, and the green forest is on my right, and now I just need to climb up this hill until I see the bigger hill behind the control in front of me, or some stones or anything. Like, I just need to relocate myself at some point, but now I can just run forward and try to keep some speed. Then I saw the boulder clusters on my left, but I thought that the only thing that they could be are those boulder clusters, but I just couldn't believe that I'm still so low in the hill, because I thought I should be already quite close to the control, because I had skipped that one path, and even though I saw the path and I was thinking about it, I don't know. Yeah. Nothing made sense in my head, but I basically knew that this should be the boulder cluster area, and I'm still way lower than I thought I would be. But I wasn't 100% confident about that, so I didn't turn much right to make sure that I don't miss the control from right, which is very stupid thinking, because if I would miss the control from the right, the hill would turn to a downhill, and now I can see that there is still quite much uphill to go. So yeah, the thing that finally made me realize for sure where I am was that cliff on the left, and then these boulders in front of me, and now I could reset my brain and continue orienteering normally. So my GPS track on this leg wasn't like very much off, but I didn't have any control of my orienteering here for a long time, which is not optimal, but yeah, what can you do if you are not able to concentrate for the whole training? The cliffs on the left were obvious, and then I could just stay almost on the same level, climb a bit, and I could see the cliff above my control cliff. So I knew that I'm on the right level now, and there is the flag. And this was a really enjoyable leg to the last control, because the forest was so good here. It was actually good to run. I think the fastest guy on this leg ran this in like under 5 minutes per kilometer pace, which is crazy, but I couldn't run so fast, even though I felt like I'm running quite fast here. So the plan was to just keep on the same level and try to see the boulders. And there is the first one. So now I can just basically follow the boulders towards the path and use the path for a while, and then start the careful approach with my compass to the control. And now my pace is also 5 minutes per kilometer on this flat part, so that tells something about the runnability here. I have started to really like this pace overlay, so yeah, I will do it in the future as well, if I just remember. But from now on I needed to be quite careful, because there is nothing to read on the map, so I just had to believe in my compass. Of course, it's not possible to do a big mistake, because there is a path on the right and something maybe on the left as well, but I wanted to go quite straight to the control, so yeah, it looks good. My direction is quite okay, and then I could see the boulder cluster on the left, which was nice, because now I knew where I am and I can just go straight down. Then I can already see the cliffs where my control should be, there on the other side of the valley. Here is the last control. Where is the control? There. And now up to the hill, and there will be a path taking me to the finish. But now this is the first video only in English over. There will be more of these in the future. Sorry, Finnish people. I had to do this. I don't have time to do both in every video, and I want to do lot of videos, and yeah, that's the only thing that I could do now, and hopefully there will be also a lot of videos with Finnish commentary also. Please leave me some feedback if this is completely stupid move, or if you understand my reasons behind it. It would be interesting to hear what you think. And yeah, let's find the finish first, but it's hard. It's hard to find the finish, because the flag there was also not very bright, and I don't think I even looked at the right direction, but there is the finish, and see you in the next video. Bye bye.